Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 23rd. I'm Deb Wilkinson, and thank you so much for joining into our weekly ACA webinars. Hopefully you still find them useful. Things are changing, as we've mentioned over and over, and things are on rapid fire now. We're getting a lot of different reports about what will happen, what people think will happen, but at this point, nothing really definitive has been changed. So let's just jump right into it with the first bullet point about the new administration and President Trump and his campaign promise to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. There was legislation released by the Freedom Caucus group, and that's with Paul Ryan, or Speaker Ryan, and I believe Mark Sanford, but it's called the Obamacare Replacement Act. They say it's a consensus bill because it is taken from some of the other legislation that's been introduced and kind of consolidated. There are a lot of debatable points, such as advanced premium tax credits, the Medicaid expansion. There's discussion on allowing individuals and small businesses to band together through association plans, selling insurance across state lines, eliminating the essential health benefits, pre-existing, keeping people with pre-ex on a current plan, or introducing risk pools. So there's a lot of components to this. Nothing definitive again at this point, but we'll keep watching for it. And as mentioned last week, on the 1040, the IRS on the 1040 tax forms has said that box 61, if it is not checked, indicating that you've had qualified health coverage, they're not going to reject those forms. They do, allow for the right to audit at random, but from the article that I read, there's no direction on what would prompt an audit. I'm not saying that your clients should not have qualified coverage, but at least when filing taxes, it's not going to kick out if they don't check that box. So, that is something. Again, we'll keep watching everything that's released and see what hits. There's another article out there that it could take up to 8 years, 6 to 8 years to unravel this. What that means for actual change, I don't know, but at least the process has started. So HR House Resolution 552 that could eliminate the short-term medical issue limitations that won't allow short-term medical coverage to be issued after 4/1/17 for more than 90 days. So again, we'll keep watching this, but I checked yesterday and the resolution was introduced, but there's no movement on it yet. Again, we'll keep watching that, and really what that means if they would do away with that is that short-term is as short-term is now, where you could purchase it for more than an 89-day interval. So again, we'll keep watching that. Vince's Corner will be in my newsletter again today. That is a new weekly feature that we're providing for you. His legislation registration report is included on a weekly basis, and questions. And the questions that you answer for Vince, he takes right to the folks at the state and the federal level, pardon me, at state and federal level, and getting those comments into the right hands. So the new question for today is about the high-risk pools. There's been discussion about creating state high-risk pools for those folks that can't get through whatever form of underwriting, if any form of underwriting comes back. But Pennsylvania had quote-unquote a high-risk pool previous to the passage of the ACA. So again, Vince is looking for your thoughts, and if you have some time, just take a few minutes and add your comments. Next bullet point, Starmark. Starmark is our self-funded program that goes down to 5 lives. They are putting out a new product that is still level funded, but some of the features, no networks, no balance billing because you go to any provider and then Starmark and their folks negotiate behind the scenes with the provider to negotiate those above usual and customary charges. But from what they're saying, there's no balance billing for the insured. So they're describing it as a game changer. They're hoping for a 4/1 or 5/1 effective date. I don't know that they'll hit the 4/1, but again, it is something that we're going to be offering a webinar on, and hopefully we'll get some quotes coming in, and you know, you can see what the program looks like. It's totally different than anything that I've seen, back to what's old is new again, I suppose, where you can go anywhere you want, and you know, again, the balance billing is not an issue, so it's the best of both worlds. If you need CE credits and want to learn some topics, some timely topics, next Friday at the Sheraton on Lindle Rd, there is a CPAHU CE event. It's from 8 till noon. And if you want to register for this event, the registration is in my newsletter, so go ahead and register, and hopefully I'll see you there. I am registered and will be there. Sales tips. I just, you know, I read an article and it's attached, the GOP NAHU article is attached talking about the health plans, but I read a Think HR article, and I wanted to give you something to think about. Again, it's attached for your reading pleasure, but some of the points I want to make is it's an article really talking about group health and group renewals. And we just went through, of course, our fourth quarter, the 12/1 and 1/1 renewals. So what they're suggesting is that benefit brokers who stay sharp and motivated can have a chance of growing their book of business at the time when many competitors are dropping their guard because, of course, open enrollment is over. But with renewals fresh in the employer's mind and political changes in the headlines, you need to stay informed, of course, and in front of them, and ask some pointed questions. They say the key is to take the conversation away from health insurance products and begin with their renewal process itself. You know, some of the questions they ask are, what was the employer's enrollment experience like? How effective was the communication throughout the process? Did your current broker keep the employer you up to date on all reporting and filing requirements? How did the broker demonstrate its value to the employer? Did the broker provide a stewardship report? You know, if so, was it limited to how claims were handled? It goes on to say, and again, it's attached, but it goes on to say that brokers should be prepared to discuss solutions aside from health benefits, such as what's the employer's next challenge now that the renewal season is over? Who's helping that employer meet the challenge? Costs could be reduced to help offset another year of benefit cost increases. So again, I'm not going to read the whole article. It may seem like that right now, but I'm not. There's a lot of good information in there, and I think a lot to think about cultivating these relationships with your employer group clients or new employer group clients outside of the renewal process, and building those relationships and that loyalty and that intrigue, if you will, for their fourth quarter renewal, because I think you can gain a lot of business going in with this attitude of, let's start with this renewal process. Let's not just talk about rates, which ultimately you end up doing in fourth quarter, but let's talk about some of the other pain points that you may experience and how you, as their broker and consultant, may fill that need. And again, gain new clients. So that's my tidbit for the day. We're going to open it up now for questions. While you're formulating your questions, you just can be reminded that next Thursday I will be here. I do have an obligation on the 2nd, so the webinar will be pre-recorded. I just think there's too much happening to miss a week, so I will pre-record and hopefully keep you all up to date with the constant changes. So let's just see where our questions are now. No questions. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. All your questions are answered. As always, I truly appreciate you joining in. I will be back here again with a presentation on March 2nd. If you have any other questions about anything that we do, any services that we offer, please don't hesitate to give me a call. As always, I appreciate you joining in, and I wish you all a great, beautiful day, spring-like day in Central PA, and great balance of the week, and of course, a wonderful weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.